Hey everybody, David the AI Guide here. Happy Saturday, and we're starting current events today. Thanks today to the Wall Street Journal for the heads up on this one. AI and farming, they're talking about a 30-ton robot that is in Maricopa County, Arizona, which is Phoenix area. And this robot is a massive gantry that goes back and forth over this field all day, every day, collecting millions of data points. So I bet now you know how AI comes into this, right? They're capturing thousands of images a minute of the plants in this test field. And they need AI to handle all of those and to be able to look at what's going on in the field in terms of dryness and disease and insects and all the stuff that can impact farm crops. The real purpose behind this is critical, and that is because of climate change. Today, a lot of crops need to become more drought resistant. I'll give you a direct example of this. I recently read in a different I think it was The Economist, was talking about growing crops in Africa. And Africa's climate is drying even further, which is obviously a problem for the wildlife, but think about the plants. I told you in one of my more recent videos about AI and farming that over half the people that live in Africa today are still farmers, and they're subsistence farmers, which means that they grow their own food to eat themselves, and they may have a little extra and then they sell that. But mostly they are growing food to feed themselves. And to the extent that the climate is drying, then you have crop failure. This is a global problem. And what they're using this 30-ton robot and the AI for in Arizona is to refine plants to make them more drought resistant, to make them more disease resistant, to make them more insect resistant, and to yield more. So you're probably wondering, does this actually work? You betcha it does. That Economist article I read was talking about how they had just started to introduce these modified crops into Africa, and these are crops that the Africans eat, so they're local to Africa. It's not the stuff that we grow principally here in the States, which is corn, soybeans, fruits, vegetables, stuff like that. They eat differently, as you would appreciate, in Africa. But these seeds have given these subsistence farmers in a climate that's drying out a 40% increase in crop yield. So think about that. If you are a farmer and you're barely making it by, and someone comes along, which is happening, charities, and gives you a seed that grows 40% more food, all of a sudden you have plenty of food for your family, and you have a substantial amount that you can sell on the open market and make money, and it changes your life. How does it change your life? Well, it means you can get electricity for the first time. It means you can get a toilet for the first time. It means that your kids can go to school for the first time, because us in the developed world have no clue what it's like to still live in the developing world. In Africa, sub-Saharan Africa in particular, a third of the kids still don't go to school, ever. Why? Because there's no school anywhere within walking distance of where they live. So these are big, big challenges. And this robot and the AI that drives it is contributing real solutions to help fix the problems of poverty in the world. So AI is becoming very, very useful, very powerful. It's helping to solve problems in the world that have been very difficult, and frankly, people have been trying to solve them for 30, 40 years, ever since the end of World War II, really, so longer than that. and not successfully until recently. But a lot of things have changed, as we've talked about, right? What has changed? Well, first is artificial intelligence, which practically didn't exist before. I said between 2012 and 2015, but it was really 2015 that a lot of these things really got developed in terms of algorithms for specific applications, the development of deep learning, and AI becoming truly available and powerful. So there's that. The other thing, as you can appreciate, is this 30-ton robot has sensors all over it. So this sensor, the advent of better and better sensors being driven principally so far by two sectors, self-driving transportation, so that's cars and trucks, and the effort to develop self-driving cars and trucks. And the other thing is in manufacturing. Why? Because you need a lot of sensors in manufacturing. Used to be people, but now for quality and the speed of the machines, you're using sensors to continuously read product being produced to make sure it's of good quality. So again, we've talked about this a lot, but converging technologies change the world. What have we got here converging? We've got AI, which is my focus, right? And I'm trying to let you guys know as much about AI as I can about what's happening in the world, which is amazing, and I'm just starting to scratch the surface with you. But also robotics and sensors. So the three of these together is profoundly changing the world. And in our next current event, I already saw an article last night that's Bullet that talks more about what I just said, the convergence between AI, sensors, and robotics, and the things that are starting to change dramatically. So this is invisible to you on a daily basis, right? Why? Because you don't live in Africa, you don't live on this experimental crop development facility in Arizona, and what I'm going to talk about next time, you never see what's happening, but it's all behind the scenes right now. But very, very, very soon, it's going to be everywhere in public where you will see AI, robotics, and sensors all day, every day. And it's going to change society. And this is why we're doing this, to give you guys the heads up and prepare you for what's coming, which is a profound transformation in society. So I hope you like this first current events thing. People seem to really like my farming segments. That's why I picked farming to do first. And next time we're going to talk about AI, robotics, and sensors, but in a different environment. So thanks for watching, and see you on Tuesday.